Good morning, students. Once again, welcome to our class. As we are discussing a topic, excretory system of human being, till yesterday we studied the broader view of excretory organs of human beings, right? Our excretory system contains a pair of kidneys, a pair of ureters, and a urinary bladder and urethra, right? And particularly, the kidneys are the main excretory organs. So, we should study the internal structure of the kidney. We also studied it. The LS, longitudinal section of the kidney has two important portions. The outer portion is cortex and inner portion is the medulla. Medulla is arranged into pyramids, which are known as medullary pyramids. The top of the medullary pyramid is a broader one, and the base of the medullary pyramid is narrower. It has a tip which is known as the renal papillae. Renal papillae opens into cup-like structures called calyces. Calyx is the singular word, calyces is the plural word, and all calyces finally opens into a wide space called pelvis, and this pelvis will be continued as a ureter out of the kidney, right? This is what we studied in the last class. And today we study about structure of the nephron. Remember, our kidney, each kidney is made up of with highly convoluted tubules, which are called as uriniferous tubules. Otherwise, they are called as nephrons. Each kidney is made up of about 1 million of nephrons. 1 million means 10 lakhs. That means each kidney made up of with 10 lakh of highly coiled nephrons, right? So here you should remember, nephrons are structural functional units of the kidney, because both kidneys made up of with nephrons only. Nephrons only makes the urine, prepares the urine. So that's why they are structural functional units of the kidney. Okay. So here we should study the structure of the kidney, which is important for 8 marks, right? Remember, here in the diagram you can see this is the nephron. Each nephron has two important parts. One is glomerulus and second one is renal tubule. Okay. Glomerulus, renal tubule. We will see one by one. First we will see the glomerulus. This is the glomerulus. Here glomerulus is composed of two parts. Number one is a group of blood capillaries which are known as glomerulus. I'm following. Am I saying anything wrong? Here we will go back to the first slide. Actually, each nephron has two parts, as I told you. The first part is renal capsule, okay, not glomerulus. Renal capsule or Malpighian capsule, and the second part of the nephron is renal tubule. Okay. Remember here, this portion of the nephron is renal capsule or Bowman's capsule, and remaining this coiled portion is called renal tubule. Okay, so each nephron has two parts, particularly in the slide. The two parts are mentioned like glomerulus and renal tubule, not glomerulus, renal capsule, malphizian capsule. Okay, right. We study each one, and particularly here this complete portion is known as renal capsule, malphizian capsule. Okay. Remember, renal capsule or malphizian capsule is composed of two things. Number one is a group of blood vessels. This one, tuft. Do you know what I mean by tuft? Tuft means group. Group of blood vessels are present, and these group of blood vessels are known as glomerulus. Okay. And a double-walled cup-like structure is present, which is known as the Bowman's capsule. Okay, this Bowman's capsule and group of blood vessels together known as renal capsule or malphizian capsule. I will try to explain. Remember, this is the Bowman's capsule. Okay, Bowman's capsule is a double layered. This is the one and this is the second. Double layered cup like structure is called Bowman's capsule. And in the cup, a group of blood vessels are present. Group of blood vessels are present, which are known as the glomerulus. Okay, particularly here, I would like to tell one thing. In the beginning, I told you a renal artery enters the kidney. As renal artery enters the kidney, it divides into fine branches, which are known as efferent renal arteriole. And each efferent renal arteriole, suppose imagine this is a efferent renal arteriole, it gives a group of blood vessels in the cup of Bowman's capsule, which together known as glomerulus. And from the glomerulus, one blood vessel will come out, which is known as efferent renal arteriole. 1 minute. Right? So that means here you should understand. Suppose imagine this red color. This is the efferent renal arteriole, which supplies the blood to the Bowman's capsule, which supplies the blood to the glomerulus. And this one is known as efferent renal arteriole, which carries away blood from glomerulus. Following? Understood? Here two blood vessels are there. This is the efferent, this is the efferent. Efferent renal arteriole gives off a tuft of blood vessels in the Bowman's capsule known as glomerulus. And from the glomerulus, one blood vessel emerge out, one blood vessel come out, which is known as efferent renal arteriole, which carries the blood away from the glomerulus. And remember, if you see the diameter of efferent and efferent, the diameter is less in the case of efferent renal arteriole. Okay, understood? I hope you understood. Very simple. Renal tubule contain two parts. One is the renal capsule or Bowman's capsule, and second part is, what is second part? Renal tubule. Okay. The first one, renal capsule. Renal capsule is composed of two parts. One is the glomerulus, second one is the Bowman's capsule. What is glomerulus? Glomerulus is a tuft of blood capillaries which are formed from efferent renal arteriole. And this tuft of glomerulus is surrounded by a double layered cup-like structure which is known as the Bowman's capsule. Okay, Bowman's capsule, glomerulus together known as renal capsule or Malpighian capsule. Okay, here I would like to tell one more thing. As I told, I will try to explain what is this. This is the Bowman's capsule. What is this? This is coiled renal tubule. Okay, and here this is the efferent arteriole which gives branches of blood vessels, and from this one blood vessel will come out which is known as efferent renal arteriole, right? And here you should remember the wall of Bowman's capsule is made up of with special cells. These special cells are known as podocytes. Podocytes. And these podocytes are arranged in a intricate manner by leaving small pores among them. And these small pores are known as filtration slits or slit pores. You got it? This is the Bowman's capsule now. Here inside the Bowman's, this wall is made up of with special cells. These are the podocytes, and between the podocytes, minute pores are present. These minute pores are known as filtration slits or slit pores. And similarly, inside the Bowman's capsule, what is there? Group of blood vessels are there, which are known as the glomerulus. The wall of glomerulus, the wall of blood capillaries are also made up of with endothelial cells, which also contain numerous minute pores. And these numerous minute pores together known as fenestrations. Okay, fenestrations. And these fenestrations of the glomerulus and filtration slits of the Bowman's capsule together forms the together helps in the filtration of the blood. Understood? Okay. When blood is flowing through the glomerulus, you should remember glomerulus means group of blood vessels, tuft of blood capillaries. When blood flowing through the blood capillaries, whatever the contents present in the blood, like water, nitrogenous waste material, and vitamins and minerals, these are filtered into the cavity of the Bowman's capsule through these pores only. Understood? Okay. So we studied about the renal capsule. Next we will move to here you can see glomerulus means tuft of blood capillaries, and the Bowman's capsule is equal to Malpighian body, Malpighian capsule or renal capsule. Okay. And next we will see the renal tubule. As I told you, this portion of the nephron is the renal capsule, and remaining portion and this whole portion is known as renal tubule. Okay. Remember, a renal tubule has three important parts. Number one is PCT, means proximal convoluted tubule. Then a U-shaped or hairpin like structure is there, which is known as Henle's loop. Okay, otherwise loop of Henle. Here you can see. This is the loop of Henle, and this remaining portion is known as DCT. DCT. What does that mean? Distal convoluted tubule. Convoluted means folded. Okay. That means a renal tubule has three important parts. Means suppose from the behind of the Bowman's capsule, a convoluted tubule comes, which is highly convoluted, which is known as the PCT, and this one proximal convoluted tubule, and this proximal convoluted tubule continues as a loop of Henle's, and this loop of Henle has two limbs. One is the descending limb and second one is the ascending limb. Okay, and remember, the proximal part of the ascending limb is thinner one and the distal portion of the ascending limb is thicker one, and this thicker part of ascending limb of loop of Henle will be continued as a distal convoluted tubule. Right? Understood? The nephron has a renal capsule, this one, and this is the renal tubule. A renal tubule has three parts: PCT, loop of Henle, DCT. Proximal convoluted tubule, loop of Henle, distal convoluted tubule. Right? I hope you understood. And this distal convoluted tubule opens into, otherwise continued as a initial collecting duct. Okay, initial collecting duct. The initial collecting ducts of neighboring nephrons will join with each other and forms a straight collecting duct, and this straight collecting ducts enters the medullary pyramids, and in the medullary pyramids all straight ducts will unite with each other, forms duct of Bellini, and the duct of Bellini opens into cup-like structures called calyces through a small opening at the tip of the renal papillary, and the calyces further opens into the pelvis, and pelvis opens into the ureter. Understood? Okay. I hope you are following. Here you can see this is the initial collecting duct. What happening? Initial collecting ducts of neighboring nephrons will unite with each other, forms a this one straight collecting duct. This straight collecting duct opens into the medullary pyramids. Okay, in the medullary pyramids, and whatever straight collecting ducts enters the medullary pyramid will join with each other, forms as a duct of Bellini. This duct of Bellini opens into calyces, means cup-like structure. All calyces opens into the pelvis. Pelvis continued as a ureter. Right? Here you can see the DCT of means a distal convoluted tubule of many nephrons opens into straight collecting duct. The collecting ducts extends from cortex into medulla. Okay, in the medulla, the straight ducts will join with each other, forms the Bellini duct. They opens into renal pelvis through medullary pyramids. Okay, and here you should also remember one important thing is this Malpighian capsule, PCT, DCT, initial collecting duct. All these are located in the cortex of the kidney, whereas loop of Henle The loop of Henle located in the medulla. Understood? Bowman's capsule, PCT, DCT, initial collecting duct are located in the cortex, whereas loop of Henle and state collecting ducts are arranged in the medulla. And here the nephrons are mainly before that I would like to tell one more thing. As I told you, efferent renal arteriole. What is efferent renal arteriole? Which emerges from the glomerulus. And this efferent renal arteriole, after coming out of the glomerulus, gives a group of blood capillaries which are close to the renal tubule. Understood? You following? Suppose imagine this is the efferent renal arteriole. After coming out of the glomerulus, it gives branches which are close to the parts of the renal tubule. Means they are close to the PCT, DCT and loop of Henle's. Okay, and all these blood capillaries together known as peritubular capillaries. Peritubular capillaries. Understood? And some portion of peritubular capillaries are very close to the loop of Henle. And this group of peritubular capillaries which are close to the loop of Henle is known as vasa recta. Understood? Here you can see peritubular capillaries and vasa recta. Peritubular capillaries means the blood capillaries which are coming, which are given by the efferent renal arteriole. Vasa recta means the portion of blood capillaries, portion of peritubular capillaries which are close to the loop of Henle. Right? Okay, this is the arrangement of blood capillaries over the different parts of nephron. And here remember, the nephrons are classified into two types basing on their length of the loop of Henle's. The first one is cortical nephrons. That means majority of nephrons present in the kidneys contain short loop of Henle which is little bit deep into the medulla. Understood? Means 85% of the nephrons has short loop of Henle. Due to having short loop of Henle, this loop of Henle only little bit enters the medullary pyramid. Such type of nephrons are known as the cortical nephrons. Whereas second type of nephrons are known as juxtamedullary nephrons, which are about only 15%. These nephrons contains long loop of Henle which deeply located into the medulla. Okay. Loop of Henle is long and runs deep into the medulla, and vasa recta is present. Okay. In the cortical nephrons, loop of Henle is short, extends only little into the medulla. Vasa recta is absent or highly reduced. Okay, here you can see this is cortical nephron which contain very short loop of Henle, and this is juxtamedullary nephron which contain long loop of Henle. Right? But majority 85% of the nephrons of kidney are cortical. Only 15% of nephrons are juxtamedullary nephrons. Right? These are the two types of nephrons. Right? Here ends the structure of the nephron. Okay. Remember, each kidney made up of with 1 million of nephrons. Each nephron has two parts, renal capsule or Malpighian capsule, renal tubule. Renal capsule again made up of with glomerulus and Bowman's capsule. Glomerulus is tuft of blood capillaries given by efferent renal arteriole. And a double layered cup-like structure is called as Bowman's capsule. And the renal tubule has proximal convoluted tubule, a hairpin-like structure called loop of Henle, and distal convoluted tubule DCT. And the DCTs of surrounding nephrons will join with each other, form the straight collecting duct, which enters the medulla and opens into the calyces, and calyces further opens into pelvis. And nephrons are two types, right? This is all about the structure of the nephron, and here I will end this class. Try to understand it and go through the textbook also. You will understand. If you don't understand, post your doubts in the WhatsApp group. Okay. Thank you. Take care. See you tomorrow.